Hey, yo, everybody, it is Voltage, and we are back with a highly anticipated video. I've been talking about this for literally months on end. You guys heard me talk about it on stream, and you wanted it to happen, and this is a shout out to GFreak, okay? He's, GFreak's been on the channel a few times now, a good number of times now, given all the multi-videos, but with Pokemon, he, in my videos, he watches it. He says that he sees how many Pokemon I hate. He thinks I'm a Pokemon hater. Okay, he loves to say like, "What kind of Pokemon do you like?" So because of that, to prove him wrong, I'm doing this tier list, so y'all will actually know what Pokemon I like and what Pokemon I hate. And we're going to do videos for this from 1 through 9 because I play a lot of Pokemon. I do Poke Rogue. I have Infinite Fusion going. We're doing Pokemon Rejuvenation on stream. We've done Rocket Edition, and there's much more to come. Pokemon's a huge part of this channel, a core part of this channel. And it's time for y'all to know what Pokemon I love and which ones I don't. So here we go. This might, make some of y'all angry. It might make some of y'all like me more. Let's see. So here's how I'm ranking them. I mean, S is Pokemon I very much love. A are Pokemon I think are very good. Not quite love, but very good. B is just mid. C is I kind of dislike them. Like they're eh. And D is they're trash. To me, they're trash, right? What is my scaling? This video is on personal preference. It's not which Pokemon's better than the other, though if a Pokemon is bad, I'm inclined to dislike it. This is not about like, oh my god, I think Pidgeot is better than, Fearow, and that's why I rate it higher. This is my personal preference, mixed from my own experiences, whether I like them from the games, the anime, ROM hacks, Rogue has now been an influence, different kinds of stories, anything like that. It's just, I look at this Mon, and I think I like it. This includes design, too, as an influence, all that stuff. So this is my personal tier list on the Mon. Let's get started. Bulbasaur, you're an easy A. So is Ivysaur. So is Venusaur. And even so is Mega Venusaur. I have no hate for this line at all, but I think they are better than mid. They are good. The Gen 1 starters are very good. And let's just go ahead and get the king out himself right now. Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, and Charizard X. Though Charizard Y is actually going to go in A. So, and you know what? Before we even get into all that, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, and Mega Blastoise. Now let me go ahead and explain the starters all at once here. So Charizard is my favorite starter. It's my favorite Pokemon of all time. It was definitely going in S, no question. I know people think he's overrated. I know people hate on him. Bite me. Okay, I don't care. That's like, at the end of the day, I don't care. He's my GOAT. I love him. I'm not saying you gotta love him. And it's okay if you don't like him. Don't worry. I adore this fire lizard, wannabe dragon, so many forms in every game, bastard. I've loved him since before they gave him crazy love, and the more love they give him, the more I love him. So that's my king, and I could rant forever about why I love him. Bulbasaur and Squirtle, their whole lines, I love too. I think they're very awesome. They're not Charizard level for me, but they're very great. I enjoy using them whenever I can. I've had good experiences using them plenty of times, and the starters are dope. That's just the way they are. Caterpie, I'm actually inclined to put you in A. I do like the Butterfree line, all things considered. And I'm also going to put the Beedrill line up here too. Their designs are just classic. Gen 1 is full of classic Mon that I'm very nostalgic for. And nostalgia aside, I think it's just some very nice, to the point, well-designed bugs. And Beedrill especially I like. Beedrill I like enough to put in S. He is one of my favorite bug type Pokemon, I would say. I really do enjoy him. The others are solidly an A, no question. Mega Beedrill, I actually am going to put an A. I love his design, but I hardly ever hear anything about him, and I hardly ever use him. I don't really know if he did a ton of anything for Beedrill. So just out of ignorance, he's down there, but off design alone, I would have put him in S. Pidgey, you're a solid A, solid A. I probably in the past would have put Pidgeot in S, but I just find myself always taking other birds over Pidgeot these days. Mega Pidgeot, same thing, really. I never, it feels like he's just outshined lately. So I don't really find myself getting much love from the guy, but he is a classic that I like, but I can't really say I'm in love with him anymore, Rattata and Raticate, part of me feels like sometimes I'm too nice to Mon, but I guess I'll put him in a solid B. I would say I overall like them on, but they're really just in the middle. I like them slightly, but It doesn't really get much more than that. Spearow and Fearow, I actually dislike you. I'm not going to put you in C, and that surprises me because when I think about Spearow and Fearow, I don't feel like I have outright negative emotions. But the outright negative emotions comes in when I compare it to Pidgeot. It feels like a useless Pokemon that exists for no reason most of the time. And so I don't even know people who are Spearow and Fearow fans like outright or who like it better than Pidgeot. I'm sure you exist out there. Much love to you. But I always feel like it's just the inferior Pidgeot. So I can't even put it in B. Like I do dislike it because I feel like I never get a good use out of the Mon, and it's not even that good. Ekans and Arbok come up next. And I'm actually going to put Ekans in C. And I'm going to put Arbok in B. Here's why. Ekans is just a snake to me. I've never felt it be good. I've never liked using it. Arbok has a sick-ass design, which I definitely like a lot. But I've also never used it in a way that makes it feel very good to me across any kind of game. So if I can get some more positive experiences, Arbok has a way in at A. But for now, it's just held up by design. Ekans, on the other hand, has been nothing more than an annoyance to me in most Pokemon runs. Pikachu, I mean, you're going in solid A. So is Raichu. I do like Pikachu better. Close enough to put it in S, honestly, especially in recent times. I've had a lot of fun using Pikachu. And you know what? You can go into S, Pikachu. I know he's the mascot and all, and people hate on him for that for whatever reason, but Light Ball Pikachu and running the Pikachu clone run was actually super fun recently. And Pikachu sucks because of its no defense, but you can't lie that it's not fun to use every now and again, you know? Like, at least for me. Sandshrew and Sandslash, I'm putting you in just straight B mid. I've always wanted to like this Mon, but he's just so mid to me. Nidoran, you're getting in B too. If I was being extra generous, you'd get an A, but unfortunately, you suffer from the Fearow effect, except I just don't dislike you, because you're outright outshined by my goats. And Nidorino, you get an A because your design's just a little awkward to me. But these two, I love Nidoran male. Now that is a good Kanto Mon. I love using it when I can too. Clefairy and Clefable. I'm debating between B and C. I don't want this to take all day, but my experience is telling me B. No strong feelings, no strong dislike, no strong like, just definitively mid. Metronome used to be cool when I was like 10 years old, but now it's all right. Vulpix and Ninetales have always disappointed me as fire types. I've never found a real want to use them. I've always wished they were better, which is what makes you put them in C. I love the design. I love fire types a lot, which gives them extra points, but I've just always wished they were better, and they have another Mon that outshines them too. I get they're the special attack version of said Mon, who I'm definitely not hovering over, but they're just kind of outshined, so yeah. All right, next up we got these two. Same thing as Clefairy, Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. No strong emotions at all. They're solid, right? They're okay. They're okay. Zubat, as annoying as you are, I've actually grown on this line somewhat. I'm going to move you up to B. The only reason on A is because these are so annoying in every cave, all the time, man. Every grunt. Like, I have fought more Zubats in my life than I even want to know the number of. So that's why you go there, because you're just... They use you in a way that makes people hate you, man. It's not just your fault. Oddish, Gloom, and Vileplume. Okay, Oddish, you're in C. Gloom... I was debating if you're the first Demon. You're not worth it. You're going here. And Vileplume, you're solid enough to get B. Oddish, I've always just felt as disappointing as a Grass-type Mon. Gloom is just so ugly and just a slightly better Oddish. Vileplume is pretty good. Solidly B. I can't hate. That's it for me. And here's our first Demon. Now, you're worthy of that. Paris. I hate Paris. I hate Parasect. No, Parasect, you can barely get C. Like, C minus. D, I hate Paris. I don't like its design. I don't like its typing. I don't like using it. I don't like fighting it. I like nothing about this stupid Mon. And I actually just recently got one as my first shiny in the stream of Pokemon Rejuvenation. So if that says anything, that, in all honesty, like, they even changed the shiny design and made it cooler, but that just makes it worse to me. In fact, I even want to show you right now, what does a regular shiny Paris look like? Because I'm just like, okay, yeah. Look at this. Tell me. Look at this. And this is, like, that just made me not like it even more. I see why they changed it. Yes, he's in D. Yes, he is the first Demon. For sure, actually. He's in there. And no hesitation, okay? Venonat, I'm gonna put you in A. I really like Venonat's design. I know people talk about the whole Venonat and Butterfree design switch thing about Bobber Majigga, but it's okay. And then Venomoth, you're unfortunately B. Actually, you're in C because his design isn't even that good and he sucks. But do I hate him on level of Paris? No, I don't. Diglett, you're C. Doug Trio, you are B. Real talk. Were you? B. There you go. Real talk. Do I have anything to say on this line? Diglett's one of the most annoying Mon ever. Arena Trap is such a crazy ability, and it's cost me Mon and Nuzlocke before. And Doug Trio is solidly up there. He's not that good of a Mon usually. I mean, there's some, you can build him well, of course, like many Mon, but that's it. As you guys can see, I do put if a Pokemon's good or not in most games. That does affect me because if Pokemon's bad, it tends to affect my experience with the Pokemon unless that's been subverted somehow. Like Pikachu, for instance, right? You get it. Meowth. I like Meowth, and I like Persian. It's grown on me in recent times. They just get a solid A. I like the Catmon thing, Meowth especially, but Persian, I've had some solid experiences with in recent time. Like Pokerogue, I've had a couple of good Persian in my day. Or in recent days, I should say, so we'll take it. Golduck, listen, this is going to be cliche, okay? But, like, sorry. I don't know what you want to hear from me. Psyduck, actually, I'm going to give you A because I do like you. Golduck, yes, you should have been a Psychic type. We all say it. There's a reason we all say it because he should have been a Psychic type. And because of that, he's just a sucky, 263rd Water type that's offering nothing really unique, while Psyduck is just a precious guy. And, Misty, Psyduck holds such place in my heart, Mankey and Primeape, you're up here. You're actually in S. This is a criminal Mon for me, and it's pretty unique because I love Mankey and Primeape, but I rarely get to use it. I rarely get it to be good. But with Annihilape's introduction, I feel like I really get to get more of my juice out of this line now, and I feel better about that. But I always loved the design, and monkeys are my favorite animal, so they get a bias for that. But I've always loved the concept of the fighting pig monkey dude. Like, it's pretty good. Growlithe and Arcanine, you're going in A. Here's what I was talking about when I was referring to Ninetales and Vulpix. You're the cooler Ninetales and Vulpix. By far, you're also actually good. So, it's just another case of being outshined in the same generation. And otherwise, I mean, it's just such a go-to solid A pick. Like, who's really complaining when you find a Growlithe a lot of the time? When you at least, don't, you have room on the team, you get a Growlithe on there. You get what I'm saying. Arcanine is also pretty good. Poliwag in this line. You're a B, but from there you go to A, and then Poliwrath A2. There might have been a time where Poliwrath was worth an S in my books, but unfortunately that day is not any longer there. I'll say that. Abra, you're an S pick. I really love Abra. Kadabra's an A because he's always just feels like he's good. But I don't know. Something about his design's a little lacking compared to the other two, which just slightly holds him back. But then, the excitement comes back when we finally get Alakazam, and he's just not only is he just an incredible Mon, and he has really been since his debut, which I love that about him, but I love his design. I love Psychic. I think it's very cool. And when I think of the Psychic type as a whole, I first think of Alakazam. He is, to me, the embodiment of Psychic types, and I think that's very, very sick, Mega Alakazam, though, again, I like a lot of Megas, but in recent years, just because they moved away from Megas and you don't really hear about them as much, he's just in B, unfortunately. But Chop, you're up here. Fighting types, when I was young, were always so high, and man, do I love this line, too. This is basically the flip-flop of Alakazam, and I think that's exactly what he's supposed to be, and I love him for it. I think Machop and Machoke and Machamp are just the definition of a good evolutionary line. It's just so perfect to me. Chef's Kiss, perfect. And Machamp has got to be one of the most raw Pokemon to ever exist. He's so cool. It's not like he's the best Pokemon ever, in how good he is, but man, is it just fun to have him out. And I wish he was better, but he's just so cool. I love the forearms. And I'm a big Ben 10 fan when I was young and still to today. Does forearms, did that maybe influence me growing up to like Machamp better? Maybe. There was this whole meta for a long time where having forearms was the sickest thing ever in the early 2000s. But, does that change my opinion? No. Now here we go. Back to D. All right, here's where I'm being a hater. Bellsprout, Weeping Bell. and you can actually move your way up to B. I hate Bellsprout. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you're the reason why. Bellsprout is a rat. I hate using it. Its evolution is, Weeping Bell is better, but it's still so ugly with them sucking lips. You know what I'm saying? Fill in the blank yourself. And yeah, I don't hate their final Evo as much because I just need the chance to actually use it. But I feel like I'm always replacing Bellsprout before I get it to the final Evo. So I'm stuck with Bellsprout and Weeping Bell, and then I never get the reward for sitting through that trash. And you could probably say, hey, Voltage, well, maybe you should stop switching them on. Well, random person who's saying that in the comments, I'm just going to tell you that there are many, 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 many better grass types than that whole line. So most of the time I am going to switch it. And so it gets B because I haven't used it enough that I'm going to call it trash. But I don't like it either. So you're sitting in a solid middle ground. Tentacool, you're going in B only because of the Zubat clause. You're just surfing and finding Tentacool on Tentacool is so annoying. Tentacruel, you're in B too because as cool as I like your design, I've never liked it as a mon. I hear it can be pretty good though in certain games. So, maybe I need to give Tentacruel a chance, have a good experience with it, really bump my opinion. But I never have, haven't exactly wanted to, and that's fine. Geodude, my rock. I love him. A rock with arms. I don't know what you want from me. That's enough for me. That's an S. That's an S. Graveler and Golem, unfortunately, while I love them too and they are very good, they fall off. There's a rock type later on, though, that I think redeems the full line that we have going on here. Ponyta and Rapidash, you're going to go, you know what? Do I dare? I hate to say it, but I'm putting this Pokemon in D for one reason. Off design, I don't hate it or dislike it. Here's the thing. It's trash. And it's one of the only 2 fire types in all of Sinnoh in the base decks. I hate that it's Ponyta, who's from Kanto. I hate that it's trash. And I hate that they decided it was going to be the only other one in Sinnoh. So because of what they did and the war crimes committed in Gen 4, you belong in D. And I don't feel too bad about that, actually. Slowpoke, my boy. You're a solid A. Who's hating? Slowbro, you would have been in B, but I've been one over on you. You're Mega, on the other hand, no. But Slowbro, my opinion, I've used him a couple times now, more than I had before. My opinion's growing on the guy. We'll bump him. Magnemite, you're a solid A. Magneton, it's just a stupid idea. Even though you're solid still, you're going down to B just to be punished for that. Farfetch'd. This Pokemon sucks. You're going to see. I'm sorry. Sometimes I have fun nichely using him. Gen 8 did some work for him, I know, but, he was so trash for so many years of my life. I'm 21 years old. He got good within the last few years or so, but in my growing up years, Farfetch'd was ass, hot ass, and it hasn't changed my opinion yet. Doduo, I've always just disliked this mon too, right? I'm gonna put Doduo down there. Dodrio, on the other hand, buddy, now we're talking 3 heads is better than 2. Doduo I've never liked the little rat 2-headed thing. I feel like it's trash. When we bring Dodrio out, and you're not the best, but I definitely rock with his design better. Those little black feathers on his head do a lot, okay? And the 3rd head does too. He gets some aura when he evolves. A is for aura, all right? Don't look at Psyduck when I say that, but A is for aura, and he gets some of that. Don't look at Caterpie either or Metapod. Don't worry about all that, man. Back to Seal. Seal's criminal because I never use this mon ever. But you're still B just because I never use it at all. Dugong, you're probably in the same boat. I just really need to use this mon. It's the only thing. But you're outshined by another Pokemon on this very list, which is another reason why you're not looked at a little bit better. Grimer, you can go in B. Muck, you go in A. It's just, once again, the cooler Daniel situation. That's really it. It's a ball of sludge, but they somehow made him look pretty cool. And I've had some good experiences using Muck and all that kind of thing, which I think was very fun. Grimer is just a baby Muck. He's okay. He's B. Shelder, I'm actually going to put you in C, and I'm putting you in C too. I've never used you. This kind of Pokemon that's super annoying to fight, especially with Skill Link, but not as good to use, even with Skill Link. Does that make sense? Y'all got to have Pokemon like that, who it feels like they're super annoying when you fight them, but not that good when you don't, or when you use them. Anyway, another example of a perfect evolutionary line. Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. Love them. Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. I've always loved this mon. I love Ghost type. He's great. He's so good. Everyone loves Gengar, man. Mega Gengar, you're still A, but Mega Claws, someone just start calling it. It's just Mega Claws at this point. Onyx, I'm putting you in C. I loved Onyx, which is why it's always so disappointing to me how bad this Pokemon is, man. That's the only reason he's down here, because he's so cool. He's this giant rock snake. He looks so cool in every piece of media you see him in, and he is garbage. You do not get that effect when you use Onyx. You don't. And that is a just robbery. It's false advertising, by all things considered. So, no, you're going down there. Drowsy and Hypno. I'm damn near, Drowsy, you can get your little dumbass in D. And you can go down there to Hypno, actually. You're just the worst Alakazam in, like, every way that matters, and I'm not a fan, and you're kind of a disappointment, and he's ugly, and a lot of other things. so, there's my hating. Krabby, this is going to go in B. Once again, Amon, I just need to use more, but Kingler, Kingler, you're going up there because you look cool. So he gets A. I've always thought he looks very raw, but I've never had the chance to really use him. Voltorb and Electrode, you're going in C. You're cool enough and Electric type, which saves you from D, but you're just annoying menaces I hate finding in any game ever. Execute. Bees. Need to use more. I've used them a couple of times. I like Grass Psychic. I think that's cool. But I don't like his design when it comes to cool, You guys are A. Cubone Marowak. Come on. Welcome home. Welcome home. Hitmonlee, oh man, brother. I'm putting you to C. There's a world where I had him in B not that long ago, while Hitmonchan is a high A, because Hitmonlee is just the worst of the two, in my opinion, and I don't even think it's close. If they had a version of Iron Fist, but for kicks, I would like Hitmonlee a lot better, but they don't. So in my opinion, he's just by far the worst Hitmonchan. And you can build Hitmonchan to be good in multiple ways. You can't do that with Hitmonlee. So I don't like him. But there's a Mon in Gen 2, a Hitmontop, who, hint, hint, is even worse than Hitmonlee. We'll talk about him in the next one of these videos. Lickitung. You're actually a solid A. I remember discovering Lickitung for the first time, or Licky Licky, and I thought he was a Gen 4 Mon for the first time. Or for the longest time, I mean. And, I'm not hating. I think he's kind of an original idea that I like. That's it. Yeah. Coughing. I put Muck and Grimer here. You are going down here. I don't like this Mon. I think he looks stupid. I don't think he's good. And I have no fond memories of him at all. I don't hate him. He looks good enough to be out of D. But he's very close. Oof, goats. Rhyhorn. You're actually an S. I do love Rhyhorn. Rhydon, probably 2. I have just a fascination and a love for this Mon I cannot explain. But Rhyhorn is just so cool. And I do think one thing that hurts him, and you know what? I'm actually going to put you in A, Rhydon. One thing that hurts this line is that I think Rhyhorn's line progressively to me looks less cool as he evolves. And also because when Rhyperior did come out in Gen 4, you can't get one to the post-game. I replayed Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl when I played it when it came out, and I played the remakes, and you couldn't even get Rhyperior until the post-game. I hate that. So, that sucked. And then Rhydon itself is just the middle stage, but he's still cool. He's just less cool looking than Rhyhorn, enough that it warrants me putting him down. Chansey, C. You're an EXP farm, which is nice, but otherwise you know what? Nah, man, you're going to D. Pokerogue. That's all I'm going to say. I had Chansey in a Pokerogue video recently. If you saw it, it was on stream. If you saw the stream, you know why Chansey just dropped a D, okay? That was horribly insane. I never want to deal with using a Chansey again because the reward wasn't even that worth it, but I still had to endure. Never got the reward and lost the run a lot because of it, so get it out of here. Tangela, you suck in Gen 1, but I think you're still pretty cool, so you're going to take a B. Kangaskhan, yeah, you're a solid A. Not S. A lot of people would have it in S, and I like it enough that it's like A+, but it hasn't quite hit the S cup. And now here's a mega that matters. If you were alive, or you were a Pokemon fan back in the X and Y days, and you saw Kangaskhan hop out the pouch, baby Kangaskhan went to work, you knew Kangaskhan was doing business. And Parental Bond is still, in my opinion, one of the best abilities in the game. Terrifying when you see this thing. I like it very, very much. Horsey, Kingdra, or sorry, Horsey and Seadra, and then Kingdra will be on this later, but I loved this mon by look, but they are carried by aura because I've never really gotten to use one. I do know there are some good Kingdras though, but I've never gotten to really just take a Horsey and get it to Kingdra and get the experience to really elevate the mon for me to an A. So just because of lack of personal usage, you're in there. Goldeen, you're a C. And Sea King, you're a D. Goldeen, a couple of low-level horn attacks with a Goldeen can be nice to use, but to fight, it is obnoxious. That and Water Pulse. And Sea King, I just wonder why you exist. It's ugly as butt, for one. Ugly as hell. And it's not good. And it's completely, utterly, ridiculously, phenomenally outshined by Gyarados' existence. You were always a beta rank mon, but genuinely, I do not know why Sea King exists. Star you and Star me, you're solid B. I just need experience. I've heard this mon is so good in certain generations. Like Starmie, I've been hearing a lot of talk about Starmie lately. I need the experience for myself. Only reason it's in B, I need to form my own judgment to be able to say. Mr. Mime, you're in C. I never liked this creep. That's it. Go watch Detective Pikachu. Make it worse. Scyther, you're an easy S. Like, come on, bro. Do we even got to explain? Do we even got to talk about why Scyther's an S? This dude's the definition of aura, definition of raw. So cool. So cool. Jinx, C for racism, and which is why they changed you. But on a real answer, it's just kind of butt. Electabuzz, yes, yes, yes. Let's get you up there. Magmar. I don't care how much hate that gets me. I love this duo. I love these two in Kanto. I love their baby forms, and I love their Gen 4 third forms. They deserved each and every one. They are so sick, okay? And I use them whenever I actually get the chance. I need to use them more. I'm going out of my way to get more of them. So, yeah, we'll take that. Next is Pinsir. You're getting a solid S rank too, buddy. I love Pinsir, and I love Heracross. That comes to match with him later. That's how you do alternatives of a mon without really outshining the other. Their designs are peak. Pinsir is one of the most terrifying bug types you could ever imagine. Like, seriously, just imagine running into that thing in real life. It's crazy. So, Pinsir, easy S. You're raw. Mega Pinsir, you're getting the Mega Claws for A. You guys get it. Tauros. I would have put Tauros in B, maybe A, if I was being really generous in recent times. But Pokerogue especially changed my mind on Tauros, that I'm going to elevate you. I'm going to still keep you in A, but like high A. Like borderline joining the S crew, because I've really just enjoyed using Tauros that much recently. Magikarp, you're an icon, you're an A, and then Gyarados, please, man. Easy S. There's no explaining it. Gyarados is amazing. Some people think that Gyarados is too good and they hate on it for that. I don't care. I love how good he is, man. I love Gyarados. Although I've been traumatized by GFreak having a Gyarados on his team many times. I believe it was Scarlet and Violet, or it was Sword and Shield. One of the two. I think it was Sword and Shield, actually. GFreak ran a Gyarados. When we get a new Pokemon game, we play through the whole thing and we fight at every gym. And that Gyarados was a menace. Absolutely destroyed me so many times over. That hurt my opinion for a little bit, but when you get your hands on a Gyarados, man, you understand. Mega Gyarados, you're actually going to go into C, because I've thought about it, and as much as I like to use the guy and like the concept, from what I've seen, he's just a worse version of Gyarados with some better numbers. Kind of, but you're still better off running base Gyarados with Intimidate, so I kind of don't like that he's taking a good mon and making it just a little bit worse. And I liked him before, so like I've gone out of my way to try and use him and see if he's better, and I've been punished for it because he's not. So Lapras, easy A. I was talking about Seal earlier around here. Yeah, I was talking about Seal in Dugong. You're the better Dugong by far, and Lapras is just a solidly well-rounded good mon that if you got a chance to use it and you got room on the team, you pick it up. Like his design too. Very cool. Ditto. Ditto's getting A because I love his concept. He's trash, garbage, absolutely useless. But I really love the concept of a Pokemon that can transform into other Pokemon. I think shapeshifting is such a cool power, and I think having a Pokemon based around that is just awesome beyond compare. I love that about Ditto. So he gets a solid A. And just look at the guy. Eevee, you're an S. I mean, we got to be real. I'm not like an evolution stan like a lot of people are who like love the evolutions, but I like them very much. And Eevee itself is the GOAT. Vaporeon, I'm not going to make some corny joke about Vaporeon. You can go in A. Jolteon, you can go in S because I have a bias to electric types. That's just the way it is. He's so cool. And Flareon, you're in A2. Vaporeon's been pretty good. Flareon, you're in B because sometimes you can be kind of mid. I need to use it more and really get a good run with it sometime soon, but yeah, as much as I like fire types a lot, I just gotta actually divide them up because I don't feel right putting Vaporeon and Flareon in the same tier. Porygon is an easy A for me. I really like this little guy and his whole digital concept. I thought he was the coolest thing when I was younger, and I really do like running him with Tri-Attack. He could be pretty good in some of his other specialty moves, so he's fun. Ammonite, well, here's another case. You're going in C because you are the counterpart and the worst version of the GOAT. The GOAT fossil. I love Kabutops. I know he's not like insane from what I hear and how good he is, but look at how cool he is, man. I pick him every time I get the fossil choice, no matter the game, and it has never once been a contest. I never want Ammonite or Amistar when I can have Kabuto and Kabutops. I just settle for it every time I have it, and that's the way it is. Aerodactyl is a solid A. His Mega is a solid B. Mega Claws. Aerodactyl's cool. I hear he's very good. I've never really used one a ton. I've used it a couple of times, and I will admit the couple of times I used it, he did disappoint me a little bit, but I still see what people are talking about. So he's A, and he's got a cool design. Snorlax. Now, you would have been an A, but I'm bumping you to S, man. I have grown on Snorlax so much in the last few months. Rogue videos, he's just so good. And then I got him in Infinite Fusion too. 2 Snorlaxes, in fact, on the same thing, just did 2 different Fusemon. And he's just so good. He's so good. I love using Snorlax. I love thick fat. I love the high defense. I love Body Slam doing crazy damage. I love Rest and Sleep Talk, having a little bit of coverage in that 4th slot. I love his look. I love Munchlax. I love everything about Snorlax. Like, he's grown. He was easily an A because I had no hate, but liking him a lot turned into just a solid love for this Mon, man. Definitely bumped him up. Articuno, you're A. I love the legendary birds. We like him a lot, but you're not like in my S tiers. Zapdos, I like you a lot too. You were close. And let's talk Moltres. Let's talk Moltres for a moment. Moltres is, the Firebird. I've seen so much hate. GFreak hates Moltres. Okay, he hates him. So I gotta make a Moltres emoji that y'all can spam for him. But Moltres, he doesn't like its design because it looks lame, especially in 3D. It fell off a little bit for him more, but because it's just the Firebird. Pokerogue took this Firebird, who is admittedly not very good, gave it Torch Song, and suddenly this thing became godlike. I haven't covered that on this channel, but I did use it on my own account on Pokerogue before. That's nice. Can I use that one example to elevate him to S? No, I cannot. So he's still an A with the rest of the birds, but they're dope. And here comes some more. Actually, you're an A. You're an A. You are an S. I love Dragonite. I get people think his evolutionary line doesn't match. I know it's hard to use him. I know he's not that good. And I know I choose him, or I choose a lot of other pseudo-legends over him. I don't care. He's still an S. I love dragons. Dragons are so raw. And Dragonite isn't really the definition of raw, but he's just such a quaint, simple, and beautiful design that I can't find myself hating. I just can't. So he gets a nice spot. Dratini and Dragonair do suffer, though, because Dratini sucks. Dragonair is mid. To me, they're the ones who don't match. I'd like them to look more like Dragonite, personally. I know there's 2 of them, so in theory, Dragonite's one doesn't match, but you get it, man. That's all I'm saying. I would have liked them to be improved, but they are stepping stones to glory, so they can still have an A spot. And we get to the finals. I mean, look, if you're a Mewtwo fan, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come on, join the Voltage crew, because y'all know, I mean, if you're a Mewtwo hater, come talk to me. I got to know why. You're an S, baby. You can call Mewtwo overrated. He's like Charizard to me. If a Pokemon's supposedly overrated, they have a reason to be rated as high as they are. That's just the way it is. And Mewtwo is a legendary, which some people, I guess, think excuses it over Charizard, and that's okay. I'm not going to diss him. He's insane. He's amazing. He's glorious, my glorious king. Every game he's in becomes 20 times more hype. Every trainer who has him becomes 50 times more raw. He is the definition of aura, the embodiment of raw. He is the king. I said that when I think of Alakazam, when I think of psychic types. Yes, I do. He is the representation of psychic types, and Mewtwo is the daddy of psychic types. And he's the daddy of this game because he will sit you down in a heartbeat. Unfortunately, if you're not running a Mewtwo with Aura Sphere, he might get a little slapped around by dark types. That might be laying it on a little thick on him. But everyone has their flaws, okay? But he is the superior Mew. He may be the clone, but he's the better one. You guys, this is not Mega Claws. I know about these two very much. I've used them before, but they just seem a little, I don't know, they're like weirder variants. Like I always liked the OG Mewtwo design-wise. They're still good, but I feel like you just can't beat the OG Mewtwo design. Don't even touch it, because he's just perfect. And then we have Mew. Mew, you're just a solid A. Creator of all Pokemon, god of all Pokemon, able to use any Pokemon move is pretty cool. The only thing that holds you back is your lore is just all over the place. It makes zero sense. That's another reason Mewtwo is so high, by the way, because I love his lore and I love when people expand on it and make it better. And I love his movie, and I could keep glazing, okay? Infinite Mewtwo glazing. Mew, on the other hand, but has always had this niche aura to it, you know? The first Pokemon, quote unquote, despite the fact that that's contentious. The allure in Pokemon Adventure, which definitely influences this list too, by the way. The allure in Pokemon Adventure, the mystery behind it always being there, making a glimpse but never being seen. I know that Gen 8, or the final season of the anime, tries to have like Go's whole thing, catching Mew and the ass thing with that. I didn't really watch that series all the way through yet, though I will. So I'm not sure if that'll affect my Mew opinion, but I love what he represents. He's not really so much a Pokemon all the way as he is a representation of mystery, of adventure, of the unknown, of things like that. And I love that about Mew. You know, I could make discussion videos talking about any of these Pokemon, why I hate them in detail and why I love them in detail, including things about their lore and fun facts about them and things like that. I don't know if y'all ever want to see something like that, but if you do, let me know down below. But of course, let's go ahead and make sure we get all this on here. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment your thoughts down below, and of course, subscribe if you want to see more. We're aiming for 300 subscribers, there's the next big goal, and 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Can we hit those goals? That's up to y'all, but I'm going to keep working my hardest to give y'all content worthy of subscribing to. Here's the list. What do y'all think? Is GFreak right? Am I a Pokemon hater? Or is he looking wrong so far? I am not trying to be extra nice, man. I'm being as critical as I realistically can be without being like an excessive hater. These are my genuine opinions. I want to know what y'all think. Am I a hater or was I valid? What did you like? What did you disagree with? I'd love to hear that and hear some of your opinions. So, in any case, hope you enjoyed. We will be having versions of these lists for all the generations. And when we get to the very end, I'll be using the ultimate Pokemon favorite picker, and I'll be showing you my all-star list from everything. So, stay tuned for that. In any case, have a great nights, days, evenings, mornings, whatever times you're watching this. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Voltage out.